Hey, thanks for watching the Stonebergs on YouTube. Got a fun episode today. We check in on Katie's Adderall drought. I find a new butcher shop. I stand in line for meat. No surprise there. And Katie explores the concept of JOMO versus FOMO. The joy of missing out versus the fear of missing out. Enjoy this episode of the Stonebergs on YouTube.
Podcasting from their dining room table in
WeHo.
California, it's the Stonebergs with Dave Stone and Katie Strandberg. Get it? Advice and encouragement from two goofballs who can barely run their own lives. Call now at 562-548-2012 to be a part of the show. Now welcome, the Stonebergs.
There we go.
Yeah. Yep.
There we go.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. I don't know where that voice came from. Hello, Boo.
How you doing?
How you doing?
What's going on, Boo?
Oh, Boo, I am just peachy and keen.
Oh, yeah, both?
How the hell are ya?
Oh, I'm pretty good. There we go. Sorry about that.
Listen, hillbilly music. We got to shut it down. My name's Dave, and I like music from the South.
Biscuits and farts, we're going to war.
It's true.
That's how you once described my taste in music.
Yeah, I enjoy it, but sometimes I do. I would like to give a note.
Sure.
It's a little sad. Sometimes it's sad.
I
Like
sad
90%
music.
of it is sad.
I don't know why I like sad music, but
Really?
Yeah. A lot of country music is sad.
That's true.
You know.
Do you remember the smash hit, Don't Take the Girl?
Don't take the girl.
Yeah, I remember that.
Don't take the girl. It's literally about a woman that dies.
Who's that? Colin Ray?
No, I think it was, I was about to say Tom Hanks.
Don't take the girl.
Yeah, Tom Hanks.
He has a country
Pop country.
from the 90s.
Who do sing that? Yeah, that was a big hit back in the late 90s when I was a mainstream country radio DJ.
I loved that you were a DJ from the country.
Dangerous Dave at South 106.1.
That was so good. Dangerous Dave?
Hey, it's
Whoa.
Dangerous Dave, and I hosted a call-in request show from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. every night, weeknights, called Crying, Lovin', Laughing, or Leaving. It's a mouthful. Crying, loving, laughing, or leaving. Are you crying? Are you laughing? Are you loving? Are you leaving? And people will call in and request, hey, Dave, this is Tina. I want to request Tim and Faith, it's your love, to Jamie. Now, we broke up because he punched me in the mouth, but I still love him.
No.
Yeah, people like just admit to domestic-related crimes on the radio.
So
Yeah.
crying, laughing, loving.
Or leaving. Are you crying? Are you loving? Are you laughing? Are you leaving?
I feel like
South 106.1, hey, it's Dangerous Dave, crying, loving, laughing, or leaving. 213-282-3615. Katie's on the line.
hi.
Hey, Katie, what's going on?
Well, I actually just wanted to shout out to my family. I wanted to play the song "All My Friends Are Dead."
Mm-hmm. All my friends are dead.
Is that a song?
That sounds,
Push me to the edge. All my friends are dead.
sounds like...
Can I? Oh, I'm sorry. I guess this would be under the crying section.
Yeah, so you're crying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sarah McLachlan, that Angel song.
Yeah, this is mainstream country.
Got it. Okay.
We don't play adult contemporary.
All right, cool. How about some Clint Black?
Back then, you had
Clint
like three
Jones.
choices. It was Tim McGraw,
Oh.
Neil McCoy,
Yes.
or who was Leanne Womack. Those were
Patty Loveless.
yeah, but I was a little after. Patty Loveless was big in like the late 80s. This would have been 97, 98.
Deanna Carter.
Dina Carter. Dina Carter.
Spelled
Strawberry
Deanna.
Wine.
Oh,
Yeah,
17.
all those late
It's kinda
90s
gross, though.
country hits. What was the one I hate? There was one, Watermelon Crawl.
I loved the watermelon
Crawl.
Drink, don't drive, do the watermelon crawl.
Susie went to Baylor University, which is in a large state entitled Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And she got into 90s country. It was like 97. And so for a semester, she was there. And that's how I was introduced to the magic of 90s country.
Oh, yeah.
And man, the Watermelon Crawl was up there. Wow. Garth Brooks, Thunder Rolls. Get out of here. You're not going to find a better song than that. Mm-hmm. And you can't find it on the Spotify. You can't find it anywhere.
Thunder rolls and the lightning strikes.
I don't know why I remember this. At that radio station, it was all computerized. And they would type in the artist and the title of the song in this program, this radio program. But you only had so many characters to type in the name of the song. So a lot of times my boss, the guy who would do all that, he would abbreviate things. And there was one song, it was like a one-hit wonder. I forgot the artist, but it was My Heart Has a History, which is a long title, especially if you get... So the way he abbreviated it, I said, hey, that's so-and-so with My Heart's an Ashtray. South 106.1.
Computer matches would be so perfect, Marvin Way.
And then, I don't know if we've talked about this, but in radio, every week you have to do an air check session. And what that means is during your shift, you record all your talk breaks onto a cassette. And then sometime in the next week, you'd have to go back into the office, sit down with your boss, usually the program director, and you'd have an air check session. And you just sit there, the two of you just sit there and listen to every talk break that you did. And, you know, if I worked a 4-hour shift, awful. The way our kind of hour clock was set up is I probably had about 5 talk breaks an hour. So in a 4-hour shift, that's 20 breaks. So just have to sit there and then he'd be like, why'd you say that? Or, you kind of messing up. And then I remember so specifically, he was like, yeah, that's not the name of the song.
Did you see the memo about this?
That's the worst thing I've ever heard.
My Heart's an Ashtray.
Did you cry ever?
Although
cried.
That sounds like a country song.
Sounds like a country song.
My Heart's an Ashtray.
Yeah.
So I thought, but
that would be under the crying or the leaving.
Yeah.
I don't know. Was there a lot of laughing, loving, or not really?
Yeah, there was. You know, it was mainly like teenage high school kids would call in. You know, late at night, they're staying up. Oh. Hey, Dave, this is Susan. I want to say hey to Robbie. He gets out of jail next week.
Oh.
Hank Williams Jr. is his favorite. I was wondering if you can play All My Rowdy Friends. Like, sure thing. Thanks for checking in.
In jail, do you get to listen to radio? I really don't know that answer.
Yeah, I would imagine there's probably access to a radio here or there. But, yeah, they'd call in and... it was all just teenagers.
And they were in
love. My girlfriend, my boyfriend, or maybe they were leaving. Oh. I've had enough of him. He works too much.
Wow.
I'm leaving.
She's leaving.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't know how we got started talking on that.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, going back into time, I would like to say that I got a new toy this week.
You got a new toy this week? Uh-oh.
No big deal. I got a CD player, okay?
Right.
A CD player boombox.
Speaking of 90s country.
It's called a CD player.
Sounds like a country song.
Yeah. I got a battery-operated and plug-in Jensen, just this Target CD player.
Nice.
Because it was calling out to me. Uh-huh. And I'll tell you, it's just changed my life.
Do you still have CDs?
I do.
I have no CDs.
You got rid of them all.
Yeah. It's all...
Oh my God, I am a hoarder.
Digital or vinyl is really all I have now.
Oh, I've kept all my CDs. And
Really?
Oh, I love them. They're scratched to hell, but I love them. So far, I've listened to Joe Diffie's Greatest Hits.
Yeah. And what was his John Deere Green?
No, I loved Bigger Than the Beatles. That is not how it sounds.
Yeah.
Bigger than the Beatles.
But John Deere Green was one of his.
Yeah, John Deere Green on a hot summer night.
She
Something Billy Bob loved Charlene.
In letters 3 feet high.
Welcome to the Stonebergs.
And the whole town said that he should have used red.
But it looked good to Charlene.
Yeah, Charlene is a good name.
If we ever have a tiny little lady dog, which I think Charlie would love, because then he could have a friend and he won't be so codependent on me, her name should be Charlene.
Charlene. It's a good name.
Except Harvey will have sex with her.
That's true. Like he does all our blankets.
Every morning. We awaken to just blankets.
Yeah.
From Harvey's desires.
Yeah.
So gross. Sometimes we'll get my leggings out of the laundry basket. Yeah. Anyway, he's got a type.
So CD player. It's treating you right?
Player,
you having fun?
Loving it. Yeah. I took the boom box, since you could unplug it, into the shower.
Ooh.
Now I'm utilizing it to make showering fun.
Nice.
Because I don't like to shower.
Yeah.
I don't.
You don't like to shower?
I don't like to shower.
I love to shower.
I don't
take
like to
like 2
brush my
showers a day.
teeth. I don't like to stay in the bathroom.
You're gross.
I am. No, I am. It's
How
not
can someone
depression.
be
It's
so?
gross.
But you're so
Thank you.
prissy and feminine. You love makeup and lotions and
Ish.
crap. How are you not
Well, I'm
showering more
lazy.
often? Yeah.
And also, it's like, I don't like sensory-wise. It's like hitting my skin. I swear I have a lot of stuff. I really do. I resonate with Jack Nicholson's character from As Good as It Gets, like a lot. And then I don't know what he has going on, but it's a lot in that movie. We're going to watch that movie, and you'll see.
Sure. I've seen it.
No, you're thinking of Something's Gotta Give.
I've seen them both.
No, I know
haven't?
you haven't. Don't do the thing. You do the thing.
You don't think I've seen something?
think-
Which one is it?
As Good as It Gets.
I've seen them both.
No, you haven't.
As Good as It
asked
Gets,
you.
he's dating Diane Keaton?
No.
No. Who's he dating?
See, you do this, and I do the same thing when you ask me about John Wayne movies. It's like, no, we've seen it. We saw it a couple years ago. No. Anyway, it's okay. We'll just
feel
put a
like
pin
I've
in
seen
it. Let's. You know what? Now I'm crying.
That's okay.
Will you play Celine Dion?
How
My heart will go
how you
on.
feeling, Boo?
Boo, I'm good. I'm off the Adderall.
You've been off now for what? 2 weeks?
I don't know. Yeah, the
been a
withdrawals
while.
are over, and I know I'm edgy.
You didn't scream at me this week to
I
leave
didn't
you
scream.
alone.
I didn't scream.
So that's good.
I am curt at times.
What's that? Does he say that? Does Mr. Wolf
Curt.
say that in Pulp Fiction? Harvey
I don't
Keitel's character.
remember.
If I'm curt, it's because time is an issue.
If I'm curt with you, it's because time is a factor.
I don't know if he
I
said
think what
exactly that, but-
happens is I'm in my own world, and the thing I'm doing in that moment, it could be the smallest thing, like pouring coffee or doing whatever, and I'm like, okay, I'm almost done with this task. I'm almost done. And then I'll hear your beautiful voice say, hey, Boo. And then I'm interrupted.
Yeah.
And that's not your fault. That's my brain
Yeah.
focusing. So then that's why I'm like, yes. The yes is the worst. So I'm trying to work on my yes. Come from a place of yes. You don't want to be a no person.
That's right. But
That's
you
what Bethany Frankel says.
you feeling all right though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
How long have you been on Adderall? When did you first get prescribed?
21. So 19 years.
Now, is this the longest you've been off?
Since, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big deal, right? You're not supposed to go. Again, I don't
know.
understand all this.
I don't know. Is it a big deal? Sorry, Nico, I'm going to ask everybody in the room. No, it's not a big deal. Here's why it's a big deal. Because I've made it a big deal. But I have to use all my tools. See, the thing is, I have timers. Where'd it go?
Are there shortages in other medications? Like, if this was a medication that was life or death, like people with certain heart disease or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, yours is Adderall's more psychological, and I'm not downplaying it. It's just as important. But in terms of something
vitamins.
that's more like I have to have these pills or I'm going to die, what do those people do if there's a shortage? Like, how is there a shortage of...
Die, I guess.
I just don't understand that. Like, maybe it's like anything else. Maybe it's the supply chain thing where I don't know what chemicals or ingredients make up a pill of Adderall, but maybe they're having a hard time getting the ingredients.
It is just an amphetamine. It's an amphetamine. So that's why I'm like, okay, I'll just have 9 cups of coffee a day, which is fine. I
Sure.
love coffee. So that's good. Well, and also I haven't been working out. I haven't been eating right. Like I'm a delicate, stupid flower that has to take care of her stupid self all the time, delicately. But like, yeah. But I was kind of relying on Adderall so I could do my own, like, I'll just take Adderall and then I'll get stuff done. As opposed to, let me utilize this so I can continue to do things. Yeah. You're looking at Harvey.
Yeah.
He's so cute.
He hasn't figured out that there's catnip on the...
Yeah, he'll figure it out.
Trying to
There's-
lure him
yeah.
to the...
Harvey, hey,
What?
here's some. We'll lay down on
What
the
is it?
table now. Catnip is dope.
But you're hanging in there without the Adderall.
I'm hanging in there. I'm
that's
hanging
good.
in there. And you know why? Because you have been cooking like a champion.
Oh, I've been crushing it.
And I got to tell you.
I'll do another recipe later in the show.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, the meat of it all.
The meat of it all.
You've been on a meat hunt this week?
Yeah.
Like, you stood in a line for how long?
Oh,
on
I went to a
Saturday?
pop-up Saturday. I've been hearing a lot about this dude. I follow him on Instagram, but I've never tried his stuff. I guess he's a celebrity chef, although I don't know him from anything other than Instagram. Adam Perry Lang, based here in L.A., and I think he's opening a new restaurant on Hollywood Boulevard soon. But apparently this dude knows his meat, knows his barbecue, even though I think he's originally from Brooklyn. So I'm always leery of people trying to make barbecue. They come from the Northeast. But
Why?
Yeah.
Oh, because they're Yankees?
yeah, it's a cultural thing.
Oh, my gosh. You are so...
Same way I don't want some hillbilly making me some chicken parm. I don't want some Brooklyn guy giving me some brisket. But no, that's the old way of thinking. Barbecue is an inclusive...
There it is.
An inclusive thing.
Harvey almost
Anybody
fell off
can
the
make it
mushroom. Okay.
if you know what you're doing. But yeah, Adam Perry Lang did a pop-up over in Silver Lake at this little like Korean spot. And oh boy, was it good. I have never had this dish, porchetta.
No idea
We
what
had
it was. It was
porchetta
delicious.
for the first. I've seen it. I was aware of it, but I don't think I've ever had it. Basically, if you don't know what porchetta is, it's I think to the best of my knowledge, it's kind of like it's a pork roast that's been kind of butterflied and laid out, but they keep the skin and the fat on, and then they you can put like a bunch of herbs and garlic and stuff in it, and then you roll it. It's kind of like braciole. It's like the pork version of braciole, which is an Italian thing, where it's just like both of these are just, it's kind of a butterflied cut that you put a bunch of stuff in and then roll it up and then tie it up with twine, and then he smoked it. I don't know if he roasted it or smoked it. But
Yeah, it seemed very decadent.
It was so good.
Decadent.
It had like the skin was still on it, so the skin is all crackling, like kind of like a cracklin, exactly like a cracklin. That's
Which
where
is
cracklins come from. Fried pig skin. Ooh boy.
Pork rinds.
So yeah, pork rind would be
Got
just
it.
the skin part. A full cracklin has the skin and the fat. So this had the skin, the fat, the meat all rolled up. Oh man, it was so good. Had that and I got two racks of ribs.
So when you're standing in line in the
Stood
rain,
in line for 2 hours.
yeah, in the rain, which I know
That's like the fat guy's grandkid story, you know? Hey, when I was your age, I stood in line for 2 hours for porchetta. So, no, I don't want to hear your shit. Your grandmother and I, we used to go to pop-ups. And then, I don't know.
I like it.
But yeah, that's my walking to school in the snow stories. I stood in line 2 hours. What were you asking? When I stand in line for 2 hours?
You're thinking that whole time, do you enjoy the because I would need to know a wait time. I would need to know, okay, 2 hours, okay, now I know. But you don't know the whole time, right? It's not like you take a number at the butcher
Well,
and then
that's
walk
part-
away.
No, that's part of the fun. It's kind of like when you go fishing. You don't ask the fish what time, when's it going to be, what time you're going to bite my lure.
Sounds like a country song.
It could be a short wait or it could be a long wait. But that's part of the fun.
Really?
I mean, well, because you know, well, you got to think of it too. Like just the simple psychology. And it was fun. It's funny to watch that play out because when I was standing in line, we were all out on the sidewalk. And then when people walk by and they see a line of people, most of them are like, what's going on here? Like you're just naturally curious to why are 85 people waiting in line on the sidewalk to get into this building? So there's I forgot where I was going with that.
There's a anticipation.
Oh, the anticipation and just the principle of, well, if this many people are waiting for this one thing, this thing must be pretty good.
Yeah.
You know? So
But there is a flip side to that,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because if you see a big group of people, much like I was bamboozled once because they had this pop-up coffee shop in Los Feliz,
Mm-hmm.
and it looked exactly like Starbucks. And I tried to wait in line, but it wasn't.
was that dumb Starbucks? You fell for that? Oh, Nathan Fielder. I remember when that was going on because that's the neighborhood I used to park my van. Yeah, you bought into that. I didn't know that.
I worked down the street and I love Starbucks, and there wasn't a Starbucks. Well, there was actually on the corner, but I didn't. That one was very scary, and it was
The
too,
one Prospect and Hill and
too busy.
Virgil.
Yeah, makes me nervous. I don't know. Anyway, then I realized, okay, I'm not going to be able to get a Starbucks coffee.
Yeah, I forgot what the overall premise of that episode was. Nathan, for you,
I love
I think
him.
he called it dumb Starbucks, so he just made a replica Starbucks, but what was the dumb part?
I don't remember because I didn't get in.
With our sign now on display, my plan quickly began to work as people started coming in thinking it was an actual Starbucks.
Oh, dumb Starbucks. Okay, okay.
Oh, you thought it was Starbucks?
I did.
The line was so long, and I just gave up.
Yeah.
Jeremiah called me to say there was a line of over 15 people at the store.
But no, it's that's not nearly the longest I've waited in line for food. Hal and Ray's Nashville Hot Chicken, best sandwich, not chicken sandwich, best sandwich I've ever had in my life.
Okay.
Hal and Ray's
You always say that.
hot chicken sandwich. I waited over 3 hours to get that. When they first opened, probably 5-6 years ago,
Wait, how many hours?
I waited over 3 hours. What else am I going to do? But yeah, and a 2-hour wait, it's nothing. Now, I wouldn't wait 2 hours in line to go to Burger King, but you have to weigh, weight versus reward. And I was like, and I'd never had this stuff, so it was a gamble, but looking at his Instagram, it was like, this is going to be legit, and it was.
It's an experience. You like the experience of going.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're conquering something.
Well, it's just.
I'm going to go conquer this line.
Well, and you're trying something new. And being such a fan of food the way I am, like I've said before, I don't know if you'd call me a foodie. I'm adventurous, and I like all types of food, but my mission as a fat foodie, I want simple and traditional dishes, but give me the best version.
Well, yeah.
I want the best cheeseburger I've ever had. I want the best rack of ribs I've ever. I sometimes I'll dabble with some of the fine dining stuff or whatever, but really, just give me something I'm familiar with, but make it the best version I've ever had. So that's my white dragon that I'm always chasing.
I love that.
Yeah, it was a good time. So we got some ribs and some porchetta. Brought it home. Oh boy, they were also doing like
You were like the meat fairy. You came
48
in with
ounce
bags.
tomahawks. They were doing wood fire grilled tomahawk steaks, $225 a pop. I was like, yeah, I'll pass on that.
How big were they?
48 ounces, so it's about 3.5 pounds.
So bigger than
almost.
Charlie.
Yeah.
Just kidding, you're fat.
But yeah, and then the day before, I found a new butcher shop. Speaking of meat, I'm very excited. I've kind of turned into a snob with my meat lately, in that I found this amazing butcher shop about a year ago in Los Feliz called McCall's, and I love that place.
They all know your name.
They have amazing stuff. If I'm being honest, it's a little pricey. But it's worth it. But I found closer to home over here, which we've lived here almost 2 years, and I don't go very often.
I know.
To the farmer's market.
Which is a mile, 2 miles down the street.
Yeah, it's, what is it, Beverly at Fairfax.
Yeah.
At the Grove. But they have 2 butcher shops in there.
Yeah.
And their prices are pretty good, and it's much closer. So I went over there the other day and got all kinds of crap. I got Korean marinated chicken thighs. I got andouille sausage. I got some, fancy house blend ground beef. But I'm a butcher shop guy now.
You like butcher shops?
I can't, once you get, really good fresh meat, it's hard to just go to Ralph's or Kroger and just get the choice sirloin bullshit. Even though,
But can you make that good?
Of course.
Could you make a choice equal to a McCall's something? Take the same meat, and I wonder if you could do the same.
You could make it really, to answer your question, you could take a really experienced chef with great technique and great skills, and he can take a choice steak and make it better than just some jackass who got a hold of a prime steak. A bad version of a prime steak.
I got a prime steak.
as a whole, you always just better ingredients just means a better meal.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Well, I'm just proud of you for your exploration.
We talked about that. About buy the most expensive ingredients you can afford. And I'm not, I'm not saying I'm above eating a choice steak. I'm just saying it's hard to go back to choice when you've had that prime. You've had that butcher shop prime.
No,
well, especially with the
me.
ground beef. it's the little things too. Let's talk about ground beef. But like, if you get fresh ground beef, like stuff that was made an hour or two before you buy it, you know, where they take the chuck roast and the brisket and the short rib and grind it all up and mix it all together, like that's going to be so much better than the prepackaged beef you get at the store. That's, well, the prepackaged, but even the stuff that they have that, you know, well, I guess some grocery stores grind their own beef and then they put it out. But like, still, I think it's higher quality and fresher at some of these butcher shops. So
It is.
it's fun being a butcher shop guy now.
You are a snob.
Yeah, I'm a snob.
You're a butcher snob.
I ask questions, you know.
What are the questions you
Yeah,
ask?
where'd this come from? Is this local? Is this, you know, and you know, sometimes they're excited to tell you, oh, this comes from a family farm, you know, up in Bakersfield, and we buy from them. And you know, so I mean, I've never been too conscious, you know, in terms of the ethical part of meat and stuff but everybody probably should. Like, you should ask where this came from.
Yes.
You should know where, you know.
Yeah.
I heard that one time about McDonald's. I don't know if it's true. It seems like a nice, easy, round number to fabricate, but someone told me once that your average burger at McDonald's has meat from 1,000 different cows. Isn't that crazy?
No. How is that even possible?
Yeah. But, you know, it came from a batch where maybe they used 1,000 cows in this giant batch and grind it up. But anyway.
So initially it's meatloaf. McDonald's is meatloaf, right? Wouldn't that be true?
I mean, yeah. I mean,
meaty meatloaf.
That might even be too generous for them. But,
hey.
I mean,
chicken nugs.
I'm not going to pretend I'm not a fan of McDonald's every now and then. They did change the quarter pounder a couple of years ago, and it's a noticeable improvement. They did. They when we were living in Long Beach, I think is when that happened. And I was like, huh. And you could tell. Quarter pounder with cheese is better today than it was 5 years ago.
Royale with cheese.
Royale with cheese.
That's right.
Yeah.
I love that you know the timelines of,
I remember that.
You're so excited. It's so cute. You have such a passion for food.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that you're married to me because I just don't.
Yeah, you appreciate
I like peanut butter and jelly.
But you eat the stuff that I cook.
No, and it's delicious, but I can't emulate it or do it because I'm like,
The only
much
thing
work.
I'm still having to break you off of is the microwave. Like, I stood in line for 2 hours, got these amazing pork spare ribs that APL probably spent hours prepping and smoking.
Oh, and you saw a movie star. You had to cite
Oh,
it.
yeah, I saw Paul Dano there. Paul Dano? I've heard it both ways. But, yeah, he was in line with some friends.
So tall.
But my point is, I wait in line 2 hours to get these ribs. This guy took all this attention and care and detail to make these ribs. I bring them home, and you're like, I'm going to microwave them.
I asked if it was all right. I give you the option, and then you were like, well, do you want to eat less than par things that I've waited 2.5 hours in the rain for? No.
Microwave a hot dog, but you don't microwave good barbecue.
Well, it's just so much faster. I think, you know, I just want to get in and get out. Get the food in, get it out.
Get it in and get it out. Hey, you don't buy a cheeseburger, you just rent it. So what's going on with you, Boo? We got a topic today?
We have a topic.
You going to lay it down?
Oh, I'm going to lay it down.
You're going to give us some
It is
knowledge?
about butchering and how we can all be
That's
a
right.
butcher.
You got to know where your cow came from.
Okay. Have you heard of this new thing? It is called JOMO. Do you know what that is? JOMO.
JOMO sounds like an ad campaign of some sort.
It does sound like that.
You're like, Bank of America, JOMO.
The new ATM machines are really cool.
It's true, like Toyota, bringing the holiday JOMO.
Toyota-thon is on, and you know what that means.
JOMO. Yeah, so JOMO is not that, but it should be.
I know FOMO.
FOMO is what?
Fear of missing out.
Okay, so now the youths are taking FOMO, and they're like, screw that shit. We're going to go with joy of missing out.
Joy of missing
Which is
out.
what JOMO is.
Okay.
All right, so it's being in the moment. It's actually just being a person.
Well, to steal a line from our producer, Nick, is that not just agoraphobia? Or is the difference, maybe the difference is agoraphobes don't like it. And JOMO, you know what I mean? Maybe phobia, I don't know enough about agoraphobia, but do they like staying in or they just have to stay in?
Okay, so FOMO, let's rewind, shall we? All right, to explain this, fear of missing out. That's when you're online, you see on, well, now Instagram is like Facebook, so I'm 100. But back in the day, Instagram was like TikTok. And so you would see all your friends out enjoying a trivia night, which, by the way, I would be good at trivia, the pop culture section. And I should have been invited, okay? Yeah. But not that I care. Fear of missing out is missing out on something and being like, oh, I wish I was there. JOMO is, hey, I can just be here wherever I am. I don't have to fear going away. I'll read other things.
I don't think I've ever had FOMO since FOMO was a thing. Meaning I didn't hear about FOMO till later in life, probably in my 30s. And by that time, I didn't fear missing anything.
Never.
I had JOMO.
Never. Yes, you. What about fear of missing out of the meat train?
Oh, well, you're right. I'm sure that. But
okay.
In terms of like a social event, like when I see people out at bars or events at night, rarely am I like, I wish I was there. I'm like, nah.
So you'll see an Instagram story or whatever, and people will be at a show or what have you, and you're not like, oh, I should go there. I want to go.
I'm like, good for them.
Oh, that's emotional. See,
seems
you're
like
emotionally...
seems like a lot of effort. No, I have, what is it? I have JOMO
you have
now.
JOMO.
I don't mind missing out. Now, of course, I probably had FOMO in my teens and 20s. You know, I wanted to be a part of everything. What are y'all doing? Can I come? But like, by the time I learned what FOMO was, I was like,
this is, you know what this is? This is your cool kidness. This is what's happening.
Because you're the same way. You like to stay in.
I do, but I'm a different type of JOMO.
I like how that was my argument. No, because you're the same way, and you're not cool at all. So it's not a cool kid thing.
I love how you're like, yeah, like when I was growing up, I would just be like, hey, let's do this. And then everyone would do it with, you were the leader. You were like the cool kid. You guys would do stuff together.
I wasn't necessarily like the social instigator. I'm not the guy that, I mean, sometimes I was, I guess, but I wasn't the social butterfly who was always coming up with things for me and my friends to do.
Well, here's the thing with FOMO. Let's just go back to it.
Let's focus.
Let's focus, okay? So FOMO is fear of missing out, which the word fear is like, I'm afraid not to be involved. I'm afraid not to be in this thing. I'm afraid to just, you know, I want to be in everything. And I feel like I do, because I love myself sometimes narcissistically. But as an extrovert, it's really hard because you'll see these things on Instagram or whatever, and I'll be like, I want to go. But you're right. The effort to going, the distance between me and the couch and them out is so far that I'm just going to opt out. But then that makes you feel bad. So FOMO makes you feel bad. Anyway, JOMO is not to make you feel bad. It's like, hey, it's okay. You don't have to go to that pop-up, Katie, because you know why? It's raining and you got to do your laundry. I don't feel bad. I'm happy you're happy, but I'm not going to, you know, FOMO it. I'm going to JOMO it. And I'm going to have a gosh darn great time at home. So.
Where did this come from?
JOMO.
The JOMO.
Is, oh, great call. Is essentially emotionally intelligent antidote to FOMO. And it's about being present and being content with where you are in life.
That's good.
There it is. That. Some people are born with it, i.e. you, healthy family, you guys danced and listened to music. That's crazy to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Listening to music is crazy?
No, I mean like dancing in the living room and celebrating life and stuff.
Well, we didn't do that. For context, that was just when I was a little kid. It's not like a family tradition.
You're just
I didn't grow up in a clogging family.
I would love it if you clogged.
I tried to clog when I was little. I learned a couple steps.
Really?
Yeah. Clogging was big in the South. I don't know.
Clogging is dope.
I don't know how I was exposed
to
it. Hey, Harvey.
He wants to clog for us.
I ain't got no FOMO.
Okay.
But yeah, we would dance when I was a little kid. We were poor and didn't have money for entertainment. We wouldn't go out or anything. So Dad had this stereo / record player / cassette player, and he would turn the radio on, and then he'd put in a blank cassette and record it, and then you could, it was also kind of like a karaoke thing, you could plug a microphone up to it.
Oh my
So I could
gosh.
sing. There's cassette tapes somewhere. I'm sure my mom has them. But the radio was playing. He'd record it with a cassette, and then I'd plug up a microphone and sing into it. So the cassette is radio songs with 3-year-old Dave screaming.
What would you sing at
The one that I remember so vividly, Johnny Lee, Looking for Love.
Looking for love in all the wrong places. Looking for love.
Looking for love in all the wrong places. Looking for love in too many spaces. I don't know why I remember that one. Hank Williams Jr. was big back then. A lot of like All My Rowdy Friends and Whiskey Bent and Hellbound. And,
that is so cute.
But Johnny Lee's Looking for Love. Oh, and another obscure one, Dan Seals. I want to bop with you, baby, all night long. I want to be bop with you, baby, to the break of dawn.
You have some bars.
Those were the two big hits that 3 or 4-year-old Dave loved. Wow. And I listened to them later in life, like as a teenager, and it's just me like out of breath and just screaming the lyrics. And I would dance. Yeah, I put on a cowboy hat and I had cowboy boots. And I'd sing and dance into the radio, and Mom and Dad would just be sitting there watching.
Put on shows.
Yeah, I was an entertainer. I was a song and dance man.
I would put on plays that my Nana would watch.
Yeah. There you go. Charlie's here. Give him hell, Charlie. It's the Amazon guy. Get him.
It's the Amazon guy.
What a psycho.
I don't have any.
What a psycho.
Anyway.
We're not going to pause the show
we're not
to
gonna
get the Amazon.
We're not. No, get out of here.
Charlie, pull yourself together.
Stop it. Okay.
So anyway, I don't know how we started talking about that.
So here's the thing. FOMO.
JOMO.
Back to JOMO.
FOMO JOMO.
JOMO allows us
Tungus.
to be who we are in the present moment, which is the secret to finding happiness, according to this lady. I forget her name. Anyway, all right. When you free up the competitive and anxious space in your brain, you have so much more time, energy, and emotion to conquer your true priorities.
Okay.
So yeah, so FOMO makes you real anxious and scared, and I look at what I'm missing, like a place of lack. But JOMO is like, hey, I'm not missing anything. I'm living my life, right? Is that what it means?
Did you say this earlier? Like, where did this come from as far as, is this the new generation?
Yes, I saw it on the TikTok.
Young people are pivoting to JOMO now?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, JOMO.
Why? I don't understand that. Because, like I said, I felt like I was pretty normal in my teens and 20s where you wanted to go out. You wanted to find new things to do, meet new people. But now I have no interest in that.
Well, social media is interesting because, as Dr. Julie said, it's like voyeurism. Mm-hmm. So TikToks or Instagram stories or whatever that you're not involved in, it makes you feel like, oh, I have to do that. Mm-hmm. And then it kind of makes you feel bad. For example, Justin Bariso discovered JOMO after.
Who's he?
Now he's a writer, okay? And he wrote a book, and he said he discovered JOMO when he was so anxious with like the feed of Instagram, Facebook, all of that. And so he found it hard to switch off, and he decided, sorry.
Sound it out.
All right, he wrote this guy. Okay, I actually do know. I'm sorry. He wrote a book about how he does businessy stuff. Uh-huh. So he's employees and, psychology and
businessy employee shit.
Excel spreadsheets.
He wears a suit to work.
Yes, okay. But anyway, no, I'm going to carry on. 70% of employees say they cannot disconnect from work after they leave, okay? So over the past decade, many employees have continued to work because of the phone, because of all of our devices that are all connected. And so you never really get a break. You're constantly in work mode.
I can't sleep, Sharon. I'm in work mode.
So that's how he decided to do JOMO, which is, it's basically taking screens away. Like, no screen time, be here. Because a lot of employers have a hard time knowing what their employees do with their time, because they're either, they could scroll or be bored or TikToking or whatever.
Life without screens is pointless. I made an iPhone out of paper. It's not the same, though.
Have you ever had a job that required you to be somewhat on call, like even after your shift? What job was that? What was I? I was an executive assistant to the CEO of a fruit factory. There you go.
In Commerce, California.
Nice.
And I lasted 6 months.
And you were
so
on
depressed.
call? Like, they would contact you after hours and stuff?
One time, it was a test because this guy was a psycho. I could have learned a lot. I didn't. But he I'm in the CEO club. Please call and make reservation. Like, he wanted me to make him seem more important, but I was just like, what? Wore the same red sweatshirt every day. It just wasn't great. Anyway, but yeah, I would spend time on, at that time, MySpace. MySpace was it was my happy place. Because you go to your little computer, because I was there all hours. But then on the weekends, he would give me work, like find 6 perfect pairs.
Really?
That was
That's some Mr. Pitt shit.
What's Mr. Pitt?
Mr. Pitt, Elaine's boss on Seinfeld, when he first hired her, her first job was just to go buy him some socks.
Yeah.
I don't like them.
And I think it was
Find 6 perfect pairs.
Well, and it was hard because it wasn't really pear
like the
season,
fruit.
like
not,
the fruit,
not
because it was going to be
things.
for a shoot. So I'm first of all,
well, at least it was for something,
It
not
was
just
for something.
find me 6 pairs because I need snacks tomorrow.
No, but I needed to okay each pair. And I just had a meltdown.
That's rough.
But he found it exciting. Like, I think it was like a game. I think it was like, let's see how she does with this task. Yeah. And I brought in like a box of pairs, and I was like, can you just choose your favorites?
Yeah. But yeah, my point is I hated that. I had a couple jobs where I was on call. I used to run a radio station, so, radio being 24/7, and I was the boss. If the overnight guy had a problem at 2 a.m, I'd get a phone call, or back then I'd get a page.
Yeah.
But, or, other jobs that just required, not your full duties are in the context of after hours or on call, but just part of your duties is you got to cover this weekend. You got to be on call Saturday, Sunday. You don't have to come in, but if something happens, you got to come in. And just that anxiety of just never being able to fully clock out.
Yes.
I hated that.
So that is why JOMO's around. Okay? Hey, you know what else JOMO's great at?
What's that?
Enjoying your own company.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, JOMO makes you appreciate, hey, I could take time. I don't have to just go. I can say, wait a minute. Hey, am I going to be able to do all of this? Because sometimes, at least with me, I'll be like, oh, I can do 9 things in an hour. No, I can't. Maybe 1. Maybe. So now I know that about myself. And instead of beating myself up about it and being like, oh, I can't go out or I can't do anything, it's like, okay, no, I know that this time is for this. The reason I say all that is because I like myself. It took me a while to like myself. But yeah, you have to learn about yourself to know what you like. And I know that sounds so dumb and elementary, but I think regarding living in the moment and being able to really love your life, it kind of goes back to that. I forget who said it, which famous, amazing human, but whoever the person in front of you is the most important person. Yeah. You're right now the most important person because I'm speaking to you. And I think that is when you get to experience real JOMO because you're in the moment and you're like, okay, I'm not going to look at my phone. I'm talking to this person. And, Mark and Virtue really helped me with that when we first moved here. They sit outside. They're retired. We talk about Mark and Virtue all the time because they're wondrous. And they're our neighbors. They sit outside in the courtyard. And I really learned the art of just sitting with them and not having to entertain.
Sit a spell.
And sitting a spell. But it was so hard for me because it took training. Like I would just sit with Charlie, and be like, okay, let me see if I could just sit and be. And not to avoid, but to really, let me
be in the moment. Enjoy your present surroundings.
Yeah. Like ask random questions to people that you see every day. Like, Virgie knows French. I never knew that.
Yeah. Ask questions. Get them, Charlie.
Amazon's really going nuts today.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of happening. But anyway,
that's something I try to do too. Like, I know this isn't an original thought, but in this day and age where everybody's got their phone shoved directly up their butt, like, just at least disconnect from your phone, especially in a social situation. If I'm meeting a buddy for lunch, I try not to even take out my phone. That's so rude. If you're having a one-on-one or just a small gathering, and then one guy's always on his phone, like, just try not to be that guy. And I do it even more now, just out of principle, to impress no one but myself. But we've talked about how I like to dine out alone. Yeah. I'll go eat lunch. I'll go sit. I love to sit down at a restaurant by myself.
Yeah.
A lot of people are self-conscious about that. I prefer it. When it's time to eat, I have a job to do. I'm not here to chit-chat. I need to focus. But it's so natural in that situation. If I'm sitting alone at a restaurant or a bar, I'll just be on my phone. But I try to not even do that, just so I can experience what's going on around me.
Stillness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like just being in the moment, and in the Artist's Way, the smash hit book, I remember they give you like every week you do something different. Like take yourself on an artist date where you just go somewhere like a sticker store or something interesting or different, or something that you've always wanted to do to just expand your mind, right? And so one of the exercises was to go to a restaurant or a coffee shop and to draw the entire space and really like focus on all the minutia and everything and describe the sounds and just be there. And it's being present and also sitting in that stillness and being like, oh, because my mind goes so fast and I'm just like, it's like, oh, I could just, okay, cool.
Well, also it's good practice to help yourself be aware of your surroundings.
Yeah.
We've talked about that before, but it happens every day out here in LA. Just you're at a red light.
Traffic.
Pedestrians are crossing the street because they have I've got the red light, they've got the go walk sign, but just shuffling through the crosswalk, staring at their phone.
Yeah.
And even though you have the right of way, what happens if that asshole's drunk and runs through the red light and runs you over? And I don't want to die and not even see it coming.
That would be tough.
You know?
Really? Because I think I would like that.
But like,
not
maybe,
now.
yeah. But do you get it? Like, dude,
when I'm
you're
90.
walking across a busy LA intersection.
Yeah.
Get your head out of your damn phone. What if somebody runs a red light?
But this is JOMO. You have to be joyful about it. So what's a good thing about somebody looking at their phone crossing the street?
Nothing.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know what that tactic was. That was kind of weird. Sorry. No, but you're right. Like being on the phone.
Being aware of your surroundings.
But I kind of get it too because you get text messages, where are you, whatever. You have to do it really quickly. In a moment when you're out with friends, for example, and you have to, hey, I have to get this real quick, this email or whatever. Do you announce it?
Yeah.
And then come back?
So it doesn't look like I'm just ignoring you. Yeah,
right.
If it's a time-sensitive thing, that if I'm out with somebody and you text me, you get priority. Hey, hold on, Katie's texting me, right? But yeah, you announce it to let them know specifically what you're doing. I'm not just bored and would rather scroll Instagram than be here with you in this conversation.
Yeah. So
that I don't mind. And I'm not saying I've never text and drive. I'm guilty of that. But I do at least try to adhere to a principle. I'm sure someone else has come up with this, but I didn't hear it. It was just something that seemed common sense to me. I'm not on my phone when I'm moving in any capacity.
I like that.
If I'm driving, I try. Now, if I'm at a red light, sure, I'll grab a text or something. But if I'm moving in a car or if I'm walking or running down the street, I even do this. Like if I really have to text somebody, even when I'm walking, especially if it's around here, it's a busy sidewalk, I will duck off to the side in a, alley or something. And then rather than just stand in the middle of the sidewalk still doing this and people are running all around me, but like dip off, handle your shit, and then carry on. But like, I try not to even walk and text. And I don't even, if I'm riding shotgun in the car, I try not to be on my phone just because of the motion sickness. But whether I'm passenger in a car, driving a car, or walking, I try not to be on my phone.
Yeah.
You know?
Being alert. Well, that's because you have a good relationship with yourself. That's what Michael Liang says. Michael Liang? Leunig. How do you say it? Okay.
Michael Leunig.
Liang. Okay. Anyway,
Michael.
so.
His name is pronounced Michael. Michael L.
Michael L. Mm-hmm. So basically, JOMO, I do like. It's not an excuse just to stay home.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's see, that's where we're missing something in the middle. I think there should be something in the middle with FOMO and JOMO.
Well, that's why I'm curious if you said it was the younger generation that came up with this. I feel like it's natural as you age.
Yeah.
You know, we're both in our 40s now. I don't have that desire to go out the way I did when I was 25.
Oh,
know?
God, no.
And I think I have PTSD from all my van time. So now that I do have
for
an
everyone
apartment,
that's listening that doesn't know, Dave used to live in a van.
I lived in a van on and off for 4 years when I first moved to Los Angeles. Didn't, not having a television, not having a shower or a toilet. Now that I have all those things, dude, it's a lot to get me out of here.
Aww. That's so cute and
it's just
kind of sad.
No, I mean, I'm not like, woe is me. We've talked about that was a self-induced hardship. I didn't fall on hard times, but it was just, I couldn't afford to live in L.A., but I needed to be in L.A., so I'm going to live in a van.
Smart.
And, but yeah, like not having a bathroom or a shower or entertainment. Like, so now that I have all those pets, I've talked about how, I've always wanted a little dog and a couple stupid cats, Couldn't have those when I lived in the van. Now I got them. Yeah. So I finally have all these things. So it's hard to pull me away from them. I'll admit. Plus, even if I didn't, have the PTSD from the van, just the fact that, well, we talked about this, like with friends that are my age that are at bars every night.
Okay, so
not even doing shows. That I get. If you're comic, if you're doing a show in L.A. or in most big cities, it's usually going to be at a bar, even more so than a comedy club, just because there's more shows at bars. And anyway. But, like, I've got friends that are 46 years old and just bar flies 4 or 5 nights a week at a bar by themselves tweeting. And it just,
How do you know they're by themselves? Do they say, I'm
at
sometimes,
a bar
by myself?
Yes, it'll be in the context of their and I'm not judging people that do that. I'm just saying that desire, that need left me a long time ago.
Yeah.
Well, and plus it might be a single thing. Well, the guy I'm talking about, and I'm not judging 40-year-olds that go to bars. I'm just saying I'm glad that desire is no longer with me. Like, I don't, I mean, I'll go out to a bar, with you or a friend or something, but I don't have that need to go out 3-4 times a week. And that just, especially if you do have a decent home life. Now, I get that too.
Yeah, if you want to leave. And
you got 3 roommates you can't stand, and you got nowhere to sit and watch this. Sure, like, I've been in terrible living situations where I was always out just because it was not inviting to be home.
Yeah.
But at our age and where we're at now, it's just so enticing to just stay in because everything I love is here.
Yeah. Hello. I have literally made our home into an art piece that I just want it cozy and fun. And I wanted to create a space that's like, I know this sounds so hippy-dippy, but like flows, if you will.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a flowing space, boo.
All right. I'm going to finish my JOMO journey over here, okay? So I'm going to do top 7.
Okay.
All right. I like a 7.
Sure.
I like 7. It's fun. It's Enneagram. It's feisty, flirty.
Sure. Other Fs.
Fun. Okay. All right. 7 things to know. Embrace the present moment at JOMO, okay? We already went over that. Cultivate gratitude.
Meaning what?
Okay, so FOMO weakens your satisfaction. Like, it doesn't make you feel satisfied. JOMO is the root. So a gratitude journal, or to take a moment and be in the moment and reflect on the positives of your life, is the JOMO way. The FOMO is basically not reflecting on the positives. It's what I'm missing.
Okay.
Number 3, set mindful boundaries. What does that mean, Katie?
Who is that?
Is
Is that your dad?
that's wrong. No.
That's how your dad talks.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, take care of my daughter.
Yeah.
Every time I'd get off the phone, the last thing he would say to me in every phone call, take care of my daughter.
Such a weird
No, I get
signing
it.
off.
I was like, I will.
Strange. Anyway, in the pursuit of JOMO, it's crucial to establish boundaries, particularly with our phones and technology. Okay?
So you have to make boundaries for yourself, not just
Yep.
others.
Yep.
That's
with
interesting.
yourself. Like,
Yeah.
hey, at 7 o'clock,
Uh-huh.
I am shutting this down.
Yeah.
I'm not going to even look at it till 6 a.m. tomorrow morning.
I suggested something last night, and I know this. All these kind of self-improvement things are way easier said than done.
Well, yeah.
But I think it would be a good idea if once a week in this home,
Oh, yeah, I like this idea.
whatever
Okay.
day it is, once a week we never even turn on a television
Like all day.
all day, and no loopholes with a laptop. I mean, I'm saying, sometimes you gotta be on your computer to do work, but like not watching a movie on the laptop, not turning on the television.
So no moving images on anything.
In forms of entertainment. Now, like I said, do your work, but when we're done with our work for the day, a lot of times you and I will work individually, and
Yeah.
but usually around 5 or 6 o'clock we will say, I'm clocking out. Let's
Yes.
clock out, and that just means we're done working. Let's watch a movie. Let's get high. Let's do whatever.
Right.
But I'm saying when we're ready to clock out on that specific day, no TV.
Yeah,
We read a book. We talk.
to each other.
We build a fort. Whatever. It could literally be any other thing. But I think that might be healthy.
No,
just
it
to
will. Okay, what
break-
day do
break-
you want to do that?
Well, let's see. Let's see what's the weakest entertainment day of the week.
Well, Mondays I can't because
Yeah.
Real Housewives of Potomac, and I watch that every Monday morning while I make my coffee.
Okay. We don't have to solve it right
Tuesdays
now.
are hard just
Yeah.
because of the Miami of it all.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
We'll figure it out later.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
It was
no.
just a concept.
I want to grow as a person and not be so, what, dumb? Sure.
Sure.
I know that I need to read more books. Reading's hard.
It is hard.
For
all them
me.
words.
So audiobooks have been helpful.
Mhm.
But I'm going to keep going with our top 7.
I was talking to Mom the other day, speaking of audiobooks, and she's like, do you ever listen to audiobooks? I was like, yeah, sometimes. She's like, I don't like them. Why would I want to sit and listen to someone else read a book?
I love Nancy.
I'm like, well, you can still
I love you,
absorb the
Nancy
same book,
Stone.
but, without having to read. She just didn't understand the concept of audiobooks.
She is the sweetest human.
She reads a lot.
Oh, does she really?
She doesn't read, nonfiction,
Yeah.
but she reads a lot of just, kind of mid-level fiction,
Really? Like what? Like Nora Roberts, Danielle Steele?
that kind of stuff.
Ooh,
Yeah,
get it,
she
girl.
loves like any period piece type book.
Oh, I wish we could connect on that. I'll have
This
to
is
keep
about-
sewing.
This is about the 1800s and the settlers and Little House on the Prairie shit. Anything set in the 1800s, she loves. As long as there's a wagon or a horse.
It's like you. You like old school stuff.
Yeah, some. Yeah.
Old timey Dust Bowl era. Ugh. I mean, good for you for history. I don't know. Anyway, let's
All
go
right.
back. Number 4.
Carry on.
Engage in
I've got FOMO of missing out on these facts.
We're not talking about FOMO though. JOMO.
But I have fear of missing out on what you're saying. I don't have JOMO.
Everyone's confused.
I don't have the joy of missing what you're saying.
My turn. Okay, that was the Adderall.
There you
That's
go.
the no Adderall. Sorry.
I'll shut up.
I will. I mean, please, lover, can you? I'd like.
Go ahead.
Number 4, engage in self-reflection, powerful tool for personal growth.
What's that? Just look in the mirror?
It involves looking inward
Oh.
to understand your desires, fears, and motivations. This introspection can reveal why you might feel compelled to keep up with others and how it affects your authenticity.
Okay.
This seems deep for the JOMO of it all. All right, wow. Okay, number 5, cultivate meaningful relationships. So let's think about it. We don't need a bunch of friends, right? We only need this many.
Like Biggie said,
5.
Mo friends, mo problems.
Yeah, mo money and
That's not what he said.
More P. Diddy.
I would listen to more Biggie if it weren't for P. Diddy whispering in my ear all the time.
He does whisper.
I got into a big Biggie phase a couple years ago, and you don't notice it if you're listening but in the headphones.
I can fill you with real millionaire shit.
Every fucking song, Puff Daddy's whispering some bullshit in my ear.
He's whispering. He's a whisperer.
Get out
He's
of
a
here.
whisper singer.
I want to hear Biggie.
All right. We got 2 more. Embrace your unique journey. See, I feel like they're phoning in.
Mm-hmm.
This is phoning in now. They should have just done
I think
top
all
5.
this is just fabricated nonsense to justify their
JOMO?
antisocial behavior.
I think you're dead wrong, and I'm going to make JOMO into an extroverted extravaganza. How? I don't know.
So what's an example? Have you had JOMO recently?
Yes.
Like, that seems cool, but I want no part of that. I'm staying home.
Yeah, when you asked me to go sit in line for meat, I wanted to be a good partner and be like, okay, quality time, but it was Saturday and it was raining.
It was raining.
And it was a perfect putz day where I could putz around the house, work on all my projects halfway and then stop and then go and talk to Liz, get some coffee. That was my JOMO.
I was we had to wait outdoors on the sidewalk and it was raining. And it was raining when I left the house, but I was just like, what's an umbrella? What are you talking about? It didn't even dawn on me to get an umbrella. So everybody else has got an umbrella, and I did have my hoodie, so I'm just standing with my hoodie on in the rain.
Did you have a hat?
Had a hat, but it was still, like, over time, that hoodie, like, by the time I got up to my hoodie weighed like 85 pounds.
You're like, it's worth it though. Here's my money. Where's Paul Dano? All right, so JOMO, guys, just love yourselves. That's what it is.
Love yourself.
I thought this was kind of fun.
No, I
think this is good. I don't know.
But give me another example of JOMO recently.
Me?
Yes.
Well, I just gave you a great example.
Well, I know, but give me something else. Like,
okay.
How often does this happen?
When I just like hanging out with myself?
Uh-huh.
Okay, when it's ultimate bed rotting time. Bed rot's another thing that the TikTokers talk about.
What's that?
Where people just lay in bed and do their things.
Oh, okay.
And they're bed people, and I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand.
That doesn't seem healthy.
It's not, but I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, when it smells pretty, I got the nice candles going and the flamingo wallpapers just there and it's a fresh episode of a housewife and just sitting there and laying in bed with Charlie, and I have my beverages, usually a Celsius and water and soda water, and just watching and activities. So I'll have activities around me too. So I'll have my nail stuff and then I'll have my journal. I have a lot of crap around me a lot.
Yeah, sometimes I'll go into the bedroom and you're set up like the Queen of England.
Yes.
You're just all perched up in your bed and you have everything you
it's
need
like my office
surrounding you. You got 2 or 3 pets right there.
Yeah.
So what's all that bullshit right there?
That's called catnip.
Oh, okay.
And I was trying to entice Harvey, which I did, and now he's tired.
I was thinking about this. I do have FOMO in this one area.
What?
In theory, I still like to go to concerts.
Oh.
And because, not that like I'm so Mr. Cool, I only like the obscure bands, but there's only a handful of bands that I like enough to pay money to go see at this point in my life. You know, there's probably 15 bands that I would. But anyway, so when I see them coming to town or something, I'm always like, oh, yes. You know, ooh, Drive-By Truckers are coming to town. Or,
yeah.
Ooh, Joshua Ray Walker's going to be in Pioneer Town in July. Yeah. We got to go. So, like, when I first see the dates, I'm always like, yes, that's one of the few bands I like, and they're coming to town. But then sometimes I've actually bought tickets, and then the day will come, and then I'm like, oh, yeah. You know? It's kind of the same way when I book tours. When I book a tour, your first reaction is to just fill up the calendar.
Yeah.
You know, my poster, just this date, this, you know. But then you get out there on the road and you're like, oh, shit, I should have scheduled some off days.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when I first booked this, I was excited to book this date, but now it's come.
And now you're living in it.
Yeah. And I've actually done that before. I forgot who, but somebody I bought tickets to go see a show. And the day came and I was like, yeah, I don't feel like doing that today.
And did you give them both
I
tickets?
tried to give away both tickets, but nobody wanted them and just wasted. I was like, yeah, I just don't feel like going.
Okay, that happened. Okay, I did do that.
That happened to us in July. I won't say who it is because I don't, not that the guy listens, but
Yeah.
it's somebody I like a lot, and the tickets weren't cheap, and I bought the tickets like 4 or 5 months in advance, and then the day came, and I was like, I'm not going out tonight.
Well, you get into home mode, You got the sweats on. I have such an array of beautiful slippers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have a whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But no, you're right. I could be agoraphobic. I think I need to go.
Agoraphobic.
Agora. What's aggro?
I don't know. You're too aggressive. Or you're really into agriculture. Agoraphobic, you're afraid of planted food.
It's actually kind of true. I don't know. But, yeah, so JOMO. Just, I thought it was a good topic.
It was fun, Boo.
It was okay.
I liked it.
It was, I think I'm getting the handle of this.
Yeah, JOMO versus FOMO.
Live in the moment. Switch
I
off.
still feel like it's a 20-something versus 40-something thing.
Really?
In your 20s, you get FOMO, and in your 40s, you get JOMO.
No, I think these 20-year-olds coming up are like, I'm cool.
Really?
I read a lot and, can do a lot.
So I'm going to stay home. These young kids with their literacy really think there's something.
I am so afraid of youths.
Look at me.
Youths
I can
are
read.
terrifying.
213-282-3615.
In that order.
That is our new phone number.
It's new and fancy and free.
213-282-3615. Let's see who we got on the burner here, Boo.
Oh, we got a call.
Katie and Dave. Holy shit. You two beautiful motherfuckers. You guys are doing the Lord's work. This is great. I love your podcast, and it's wonderful. I got on once before while I was shit-faced, and so hopefully this will get played too. Ha ha! So anyways, I can barely stand up, but am watching the Stonebergs podcast 118, and it's fucking fantastic so far. Hopefully you all are doing well. We'll talk to you later.
Fucking
right,
fantastic.
bye-bye.
I love that. I want to listen to that every morning.
Thanks, drunk guy.
Thank you, drunk guy.
He didn't even leave a name.
I love that. Thank you.
Fantastic.
I love that.
Trying to peg that accent. That sounds like Michigan. I bet that guy's from Michigan.
Oh, I have a great Michigan accent. Ready
Yeah.
to hear it? Oh, down under.
Oh, god damn. Oh, boy.
No, I got it. Ready?
Mhm.
Cheese. Isn't that the cheese head? Cheese.
Michigan?
Yes.
No, you're thinking of Wisconsin. Green Bay Packers. It's all right. Appreciate the effort,
All right.
Boo.
Well, drunk guy is amazing, and I love his enthusiasm. No question.
No
but, like,
questions, just, hey,
why
I'm
not?
drunk and you rule. Those are the best kind of calls.
I know. Hey, so get drunk and call 213-282-3615 or hi.
There we go.
We don't care.
Word of mouth this week, Boo. Usually I will recommend a comedian or a band or sometimes a television show. I want to broaden my scope of word of mouth to also include great commercial food deals.
Okay.
I'm looking out for you.
Okay.
I'm a consumer reporter looking out for the best interest of our listeners' stomachs and wallets.
Okay.
Now, I'm not a big fan of chain restaurants. I mean, I'm not above it. I'll mess up an Outback Steakhouse,
I love Outback.
Applebee's, not so much.
Chinese chicken
One that's
salad.
always been solid. One of the most solid, not the best meal you're ever going to have, but pretty darn good. Chili's. I love a good Chili's.
Yeah.
Great chips and salsa.
Delicious.
Solid ribeye.
Amazing. Weirdly, their Diet Coke there, perfect. It's a perfect Diet Coke. They figured out the machine.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Kind of like McDonald's. McDonald's Coke. I can't remember the Diet Coke, but McDonald's Coke is better than regular Coke.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But get this shit. Look at Chili's. 3 for me. That's their new campaign. And this is a completely unpaid endorsement.
Chili's
we're
doesn't
not getting
need it.
we're not getting a kickback
It's like
from
share.
Chili's.
No. We do not need to.
But this is such a good value. I had to spread the word. Chili's new 3 for me. You get 3. Our 3 for me value meal starts at $10.99 and is a perfect for any mood and any time. Blah blah blah. My point is
Three
for
what,
me.
though?
You
Three-
get to choose a beverage, an
Okay.
appetizer, and an entree.
For how much?
$10.99.
No.
$10. That's insanity. And I promise
They're
this
giving it away.
This isn't. We're not getting paid to say this.
Drink,
But
appetizer, and entree.
You can choose the entrees. You can choose between a bacon burger, secret sauce burger, chicken quesadilla, cilantro lime carne asada, classic sirloin, another old timer with cheeseburger, big mouth crispy chicken, Cajun shrimp. The list goes on. So I'm saying,
I can't believe it. Well, first of all,
don't know
thank
what-
you, Chili's, for being giving.
Yeah.
And loving, all the people.
$10.99.
That's
You get
such
a
a good deal.
beverage, an appetizer, and an entree.
So with the appetizer, my question
Mm-hmm.
is this: could I get chips and salsa? And then also, is it renewable chips? Because usually they just say it's endless.
Bottomless chips and salsa.
Now I wonder if the endless option for that is real.
All the chips and salsa you can eat.
So that's a good question.
Yeah, I'm
Any
having trouble.
Chili's people, if you work at Chili's, if you like Chili's and know the answer, hey,
And for
Let me know.
and for no apparent reason, at the end of their pitch here, it says it's R&B star Brian McKnight approved.
I love Brian McKnight.
Would you believe I drove Brian McKnight around Atlanta all day one day back when I was a limo driver?
Did you play a song?
No.
Oh.
But I remember I took him to Chick-fil-A. He wanted to go to Chick-fil-A. He was very nice. Even though I've never been a big fan. He was more of that ooh, baby, baby genre.
I love the ooh baby
That-
baby genre, like Tony Braxton.
that early
Heartbreak.
90s.
No, that's Whitney Houston.
Just
Heartbreak Hotel.
the ooh, baby, baby, please have sex with me, baby, baby. Just that genre didn't do much for me. But he was a nice fella. But somehow he's involved in this Chili's 3 for me.
Well,
deal.
I'm thrilled that he is.
It literally says it. Our 3 for me value meal starts at $10.99. Is perfect for any mood, anytime. Choose your beverage, appetizer, entree, or spice it up by adding a classic margarita, dip trio, or famous cheesesteak. It's R&B star Brian McKnight approved.
Unbelievable how good a drink goes with an app and an entree.
Okie dokie.
Honestly, though, it kind of has some clout with it because I do like Brian McKnight, and I'm like, yeah, I think he would know Chili's
so
well.
bizarre.
I don't know.
Are you Brian McKnight?
You think 16-time Grammy-nominated R&B star Brian McKnight is a waiter at Chili's?
Well, your name is Brian.
Well, not him.
You just really look like him.
Not him. Okay, I'm sorry. Have you dined here before? Do you know how the 3 for me meal works?
Oh, my God. McDonald's new Luther Vandross meal. Remember Luther Vandross? He was in that same genre as Brian McKnight.
The ooh baby baby.
The ooh baby baby. Please
Ooh,
have.
baby, baby.
I'm so
Let's-
horny that it hurts.
Yeah.
That's all the songs were just. I'm horny. Come on, baby. Ooh, baby, baby.
Don't look at the time. Let's lock the door.
So
oh,
horny.
God.
I'm so horny. I wrote this song.
Well, that's a good word of mouth, Bill.
So yeah, Chili's 3 for me. I'm always looking out for the little guy. These mom and pops have had it too good for too long. We got to funnel money back into the big corporations. Big casual dining.
Why not?
$10.99.
Why not?
I'm always complaining like there's no place. All right, here's a mom and pop unpaid endorsement. Eats in Atlanta, Georgia. I've taken you to eat. Simply called Eats.
Very good.
There's no place like that around
A nice
here.
seat. I
You
like a nice seat.
Order at the counter, so
Yep.
you're not obligated to tip a server. You know,
But you tip.
But
You
you
always
tip, but you know,
Yeah, counter service you tip.
but it's still there's the freedom.
Mhm.
You feel less like a douche not tipping at a counter service than you do if someone's actually waiting on you. But they do everything's homemade, and it's not the best food I've ever had ever, but it's a homemade jerk chicken, homemade lemon pepper chicken. They got about 8 or 10 homemade sides, and it's like $10, $11, $12.
Wow.
Sit down, eat a homemade. There's nothing like that around here,
Yeah, there's not.
you know. But Chili's is my new go-to if I want to eat lunch for under $12. So yeah, Chili's 3 for me. Go have some fun.
I mean, why not? And it's a festive environment.
Sure is.
It's
Yeah.
so great.
It's a good hang there.
I
at the
love a good
Chili's.
Chili's.
Boo, where can we find you on social media?
At KT Low Stramberg. Woo! The letter
There you
K,
go.
the letter T, LOW, and then my name.
Right
and then
on.
Charlie's excited.
There you go. I'm on Instagram at _Dave Stone. DumbDaveStone.com. You can find my tour dates. Got a few on there right now. March 15th and 16th, I'll be in Eureka, California at Savage Henry Comedy Club. That's always a good time. I think you're coming with me on this one.
Coming.
And you've never been up there.
No.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I've never been to that area. Well, one time, but it was just, I was moving my sister from a bad anything. Anyway, long story short, I'm in.
Bigfoot country.
We're going
We're
to
go camping. We're going to go camping.
Yes.
I'll also be in Portland on March 19th. So, yeah, check those out, dumbdavestone.com. If you're watching this on the YouTube, you're probably at youtube.com/The Stonebergs Podcast.
And if you're not, you can also watch us on YouTube.
Watch us on YouTube.
Which is, again, where?
youtube.com/The Stonebergs Podcast. Go ahead and subscribe.
Why not?
Subscribe. That way you don't miss any of the action. Subscribe. That way, maybe they don't subscribe because they got JOMO.
Oh, that was beautiful.
But subscribe if you don't want FOMO.
Yeah, subscribe.
There you go. So
and, just make us feel good. So subscribe.
Yeah.
There you go.
Subscribe. Spread the word. Watch it. Listen to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Make it your own. Have fun.
It's been a delight.
Always a treat, boo-boo.
Hey.
Keep up the good work.
Guys, thank you for being here. We love you.
I love you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, I spent a lifetime looking for you. Single bars and good time lovers were never true. Playing a fool's game.
Oh, Lord, yeah. Okay, thank you.